Hello there, my good friends. My name is Onyango Otieno, or if you'd like, Rick's Poets. This is the Nothing Underneath podcast. We are into a new season, season 2, and I'm so happy to have you all here. It's a time that we are going to be delving into very pertinent conversations, and I am so happy that this time I won't be doing this thing alone. For those who know, I started this podcast in the year 2023, and it was just right after my first event, which was actually the title of the podcast, Nothing Underneath. We were talking about sex on stage, where I just bribed my friends to come and share their sex stories, and it went really, really well. And so I thought about why don't we begin a podcast where people can actually share their sex stories? And with that, it opened me up to another world of just getting into deeper conversations, not just talking about sex, but also things that I'm actually really, really passionate about. And so here we are. And I am so happy that all these manifestations are now coming to pass. So if you've never seen me before in your life, Rix is a poet and a writer and a podcaster. I've been telling stories, especially on the digital space, since 2011, thereabout. And I am a very, very, very bold man who loves talking about the hard things. And today on set, I am joined by one of my best humans on this earth, who is also very beautiful. And she's going to be the co-host of the Nothing Underneath. So right about now, I would love to introduce Sunny Shallie, or I don't know which other name to to be introduced
I
by.
think we just go with Sunny Shallie for
Sunny
now.
Shallie.
Are you on to my government names?
Maybe not important for we need you free. Abductions are happening.
That's true.
So we need you
Yeah.
free. Do you want to introduce yourself first?
Yeah. So my name is Sunny Shallie. I am a mental health advocate, a creative, and also the co-host of Nothing Underneath.
Yay.
I'm so excited to do this journey with you. We became friends in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. I inboxed you, Ahmad. You inboxed me.
We were talking mental health things that time.
Right.
Yeah, so I can't remember who started it, but
Yeah, but I was very intrigued by your Twitter. It was
oh yeah.
so woke for a time like that. And you were
Yeah.
very bold, and that I'd not seen that kind of boldness anywhere. And I manifested this. We manifested
You
this
did.
back then, working together
Yeah.
and sharing space together. And I'm so happy that we finally get to do this
Yeah.
in 2025.
2025.
Big 2025.
Big 2025. And I think I'm really blessed to have somebody like you in my life.
Oh.
And maybe I don't tell you enough. Yeah, but I hope I show it. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You're very loud with it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that about you, is
Yeah.
that with your love and your presence, we can feel it. Like us who are privileged to know you
Yeah.
and breathe the same air as you.
I'm also really privileged to know this
Like your
beauty.
presence is big, and it's not just big in private, it's also big in public. And who you are is consistent throughout. Like who I knew in 2019 and who I know right now is very consistent. And I'm so honored
Yeah.
I get to do life with you in this sense,
Yeah.
in this part of our lives.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
What are you looking forward for this podcast personally?
Personally, vulnerability for myself. I feel like I can be very closed off, and I'm hoping to open up more. I'm hoping to see myself more. Also, the way you see it.
Yeah.
Because when you told me that you wanted me to be like your podcast co-host, I was like, what? Me?
Yeah.
Not in the sense that I thought that, I wasn't worthy enough of sharing this space with you, but in the sense of, I get to do this in front of people and with an audience. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to opening up and also getting to know you more.
Yeah.
I feel like you're very layered.
Yeah.
Like there's so much to you. Like you know, every time you think a finger drinks out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to know you and to know myself.
Yeah, to know yourself as
How
well.
about you?
For me, I'm looking to meet those other layered selves that I have inside me.
Right. Mhm.
There is so much to say,
Mhm.
and we are just sort of gonna be like mirroring from each other. So
Yes.
there's that.
Yes.
I'm also looking forward to invite more people into
Mhm.
their own layers
Right.
of themselves
Mhm.
because I feel I love what creators are doing in the country and in the continent.
Mhm.
I feel there is still more we need to do, especially in
Right.
terms of
Mm.
understanding ourselves,
Yes.
understanding each other, understanding the world,
Mhm.
and understanding history as well, even as we are grappling with what the idea of tomorrow looks like,
Right.
especially in these very oppressive systems that we are living in.
Mhm.
I'm passionate about
Mhm.
relationships
Mhm.
because that's why we are here, really, as people.
Right.
I'm passionate about understanding structures and
Mhm.
systems and how they inform how we face the world, how we face ourselves,
Right.
and deconstructing all those things bit by
Right.
bit
Mhm.
because I feel so many people are asking questions, but they don't have
Mm.
places to go and get information to help them to start thinking about the kind of life they want to live. So, nothing underneath for me is the attempt to invite each and every person who's seeking,
Wow.
you know,
Mm.
just so that if you feel lost, if you have questions, there is a place you can go. And it is in Kenya, it is in Africa, it is in the motherland. And this includes even Africans in diaspora or
Right.
Black people or any
Right.
other kind of people who really are interested in like what real life really is. That we can come here and commune and ask each other questions and go through this very messy life and, you know, just learn how to love a bit more. So that's what I'm looking forward for
Do you
this.
think that's what makes us different from other spaces like this?
Well, there are spaces
Mhm.
that are doing a good job.
Mhm.
I feel like I still want to go deeper.
Right.
I want to go deeper. I want to listen to something, you
Mhm.
know, like somebody says something and you're like,
Yes.
oh, I never thought about it like that. Like, oh, okay. Because fine, entertainment is great. I'm in all support of
Yes.
that. And we need that.
Yes.
You know, we need trash TV sometimes, you know, like
Brain rot.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like you gotta rest, you know.
Yeah.
But then where do you go when you need the deep stuff, you know?
Right.
I want to be there. I want to be there in the
Mm.
deep ends, asking questions, thinking,
Right.
going through these books that most of us don't have access to. Asking questions about, you know, why are people Christians? Why Muslims? Why not? You know, why do you want to get
Right.
married? Why not? Why kids? Why
Kids,
not?
yeah.
You know, why do men have to dress like this? You know,
Right.
like, you know, can't we just come in our
Mhm.
pajamas or
Yes.
whatever, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
I'm a rebel in some ways.
In some way,
Yeah.
no.
In some ways.
You are a rebel, like with bold letters.
Well,
Yeah.
big balls. So for me, I think the world needs more rebels because the Shallie that came here,
Right.
I cannot force her to be like other women because she
True.
isn't other women.
True.
She's just Shallie.
Yes.
Why would I want to box her into some ideology that all people who look like Shallie need to fit into this thing?
Yes.
You know, that's my trouble with the world because the same has been done to me ever since I was a
Yes.
kid. And I had very different ideas of life. And I'm like, Dad, Mom, that's not how I want to go. But nobody's listening. So we have to start fighting back.
Yes.
I guess that's why I would probably be different from some other podcasts.
I'm very excited about the deconstructing stuff.
Yeah.
Because that I don't feel like people do that a lot. They don't ask the whys to things, the hows. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Going where people don't want to go.
Yeah.
and asking those very difficult questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have quite an elaborate life story. Mhm. Which and that's why we are friends. You know what? I feel when I look at my friends around me, most of them are almost considered outcasts.
Yeah.
Most of them don't come from conventional families.
Right.
Yeah, most people that I know that are very close to me, they don't come from conventional families. Shit happened, you know.
We've been through it.
Yeah, like shit, a lot of shit happened, and then you had to create yourself
Yes.
from the ashes. That's why we are friends.
That's true.
By the way,
It's
this
true.
digger as well.
We've been through some
It's
stuff.
been crazy.
Yeah, but there's more to us.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
there's
much.
more that we bonded over.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I do have a story.
Yes. And for me, I think I'm happy that you've fought for yourself. Yeah, you really fought for yourself.
Yeah.
It makes me love you even more.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't have tissues, don't we?
I told you to be careful. You look forward to doing more for yourself, more for your life. You're not stuck at a place where also now there's all these things going on. What would I do? All PT and everything. And everybody has that when they are
Yeah.
going through the thing,
Right.
and it's very human. But then I think the thing that also made me want to be close to you is you kept seeking answers. And that's why we were like friends, like back in the
Yes,
day, because of the
yes,
mental health stuff
yes,
with
yeah.
my vulnerability. Because you're
Mhm.
like, oh, this guy, I'm also looking for these answers, and we're in this
Yes.
similar space. And we are so many people out there, actually. It's just that you get lucky. Let's say you have a Twitter account, and then you saw somebody who's thinking like you, and you're like, I need to reach out to them, you know. But maybe there are people who'd be watching this and they are not on Twitter or X, or
Yes.
maybe
Or don't have
they
friends
don't
like
have
that.
friends like that.
Yeah,
And
your friends.
yeah, you know, and maybe somebody will share this in a WhatsApp group somewhere
Right.
when they see it on YouTube, or you just never know. You really
Right.
just never know.
Right.
Yeah. So in the coming weeks, Nothing Underneath is going to be having a sex storytelling event, something I really love. And this is going to be the third event. And the reason we are here for this particular session is because on the next event, we are going to be inviting storytellers on stage to, tell us stories about their sex lives. So the theme is dubbed We Listen, We Don't Judge, Sex Edition.
Yes.
And so usually on Mondays on my Instagram, I usually invite anonymous Q&As, and previously I asked people to send in their submissions on We Listen, We Don't Judge Sex Edition. And so we are going to be reading and conversing around some of the responses that we got from that, and laugh about a bit. Yeah. One thing I've realized though, Kenyans are very sexual people,
We are.
as all humans are,
But we're very hypocritical about it.
about that shit. Yes.
Very much so.
And that's why, we need to demystify some of these things.
Yeah.
I get very weird DMs sometimes
Yeah?
about this stuff. As I'm sure you also do once in a while.
I do, yeah.
Nilikuwa nangoja useme it doesn't happen.
It does. It does. Yeah,
Yeah?
they're weird.
Yeah? Do you want to start off with a question, or just
So these are from you had put up a poll, yeah?
Yeah.
But listen, we don't judge.
Yes.
So my partner arranged an MMF threesome, a male, female, right?
Yes.
Threesome for us, and it was mad. 100% would do it again. Being shared by two men was heaven.
What do you think about that? Have you ever wanted to be in a threesome?
I've been curious. I don't think I have the courage to do it.
Okay.
It feels like
right now.
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'd be overstimulated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
about you?
No, not really. People think
You can think about it,
no,
yes.
like people think that I probably
Oh,
have done. People think the worst of me when it comes to sex things, but you'd be surprised. Like I'm just a one woman. I'm heterosexual, so I'm just a one partner.
not even in your fantasies, like
Not
ever.
even actually, never.
Like
Actually,
even if it was like two females and you.
so the thing about that is interesting that you asked that question.
Mhm.
Many times, a lot of our imaginations are also a result of our environment.
Right.
So perhaps the fact that it was never introduced to me early in life that it's possible
Right.
to have sex at the same time
Uh-huh.
with more than one partner, maybe it's never really come to me like that. Right? The same way we are now struggling with the idea of polyamory.
Right.
Because polygamy has been here for a long time,
It
but
has,
then
yeah.
we've not imagined polyamory as an institution, right? Not as an institution, but it's been happening chini ya maji in other ways.
Right.
Yeah. Like I know, like in the Luo culture, when so the man is building his homestead, there are two gates. Kuna gate ya chini, the big gate, and the gate ya juu, the smaller gate. So if you're a polygamous man, and let's say maybe you're coming to you want to come back to your homestead, usually the guy, when he's entering back in his homestead, he would whistle in the evening. He would whistle so that if his wife has a guy in there, jamaa anatoka na mlango ya huko juu. Yeah. So I mean, so that means our grandmothers probably had multiple sex partners,
right.
but then it was not institutionalized.
Right.
Yeah, it was not put that, okay, so now this is your guy, apart from your husband, that is also your guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So because those ideas maybe were not introduced to me early on, maybe I've not been able to imagine. But still, I'm very similar to you. I think it'll be a lot for me.
Yeah, it sounds like what?
This is just a
Where
lot.
does your attention go?
Yeah. But people who do it. I've seen it in porn videos. Like people.
You say porn, it's different. Like it feels manufactured sometimes.
This person enjoyed though.
Yeah, but that's the only way I've seen
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah. Maybe we do need people who've been to threesomes.
Yes, to come and tell us about it.
Like, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you're out there and you'd like to
If you
come
wrote
share,
this,
it would be nice.
it would be
Because I
nice.
think we need those stories.
We do actually
Right?
need those stories. Because I think that two people, like I have to think about two people. What?
Yeah. Your thing is on this one and this other one. I know. Not easy stuff. So this person said, Ati Hutu, darling, I tried a bukusu. My friends hyped me when they learned about it. The only thing he knows is deep penetration. Pins one down family, but about satisfaction, nothing. Do you know anything about bukusu men?
No, I have zero idea.
Have you dated outside your tribe?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Like 2 other tribes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has the sex been nice?
I'm thinking about it.
That's the answer.
Yeah, that's the answer. Not really, no. Actually, I don't feel like we should categorize people in terms of tribes and their sexual prowess. I feel like it doesn't always
do that a
align.
lot.
Yeah.
Imagine that all lawyer men, you know, some pipe,
Energy, pipe, yes.
was blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, and I think even as a country, the fact that politics has divided us along
tribal lines,
we sort of meet life socially and culturally like that, you know. So the fact that we meet life a lot from that tribal aspect, we sort
yes.
of think of sex like that as well.
We've been socialized that way,
that
actually.
way, you know. So,
But I, funny enough, I've never thought of it like that.
yeah,
Yeah. Because everyone is different.
of course.
Yeah. So I can't say this.
About this because they are trying, these people are like that.
But maybe she does have a point.
So somebody saw that and told me they have been with Bukusu men and it's been a different experience for them.
Right.
So akasema maybe it's just that guy.
Plus sexual compatibility is a thing.
Another thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I wanted to say something. We just go.
Okay. So this one says, met people through your platform and had a crazy MMF threesome.
Oh.
You were facilitating things out here. Ngono ni tamu.
Ngono ni tamu. Ngono ni tamu. These things make me see how we are really very sexually explorative as people. But then there is the fact that many of us feel very enclosed because of how you have to present yourself sexually. Ukisema, maybe you want to be in a relationship with somebody, but then you also like threesomes, maybe to reduce your chances of getting a partner or something.
It does, actually. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
If let's say maybe an example, maybe Shallie likes being rimmed. And if Shallie tells that to a dude, somebody would be like, that's you're too much. That's gross.
How?
How?
Even if you tell your like female friends, that would still be like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because it's not socially acceptable.
Yeah, for most parts.
But people are doing it.
People are doing it.
You know?
It fascinates me all the time.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Umesaidia watu huku nje.
Yeah, watu wasaidike.
Number
Mimi,
threesome.
I'm all about get out and live your life. Nimetoroka home to go fuck my ex. He gives it to me so good and we just understand each other's bodies. Fingered his ass. He's come a lot. Sasa amelala hapa kando yangu. Never been happier. Love me a man who lets me finger him for real, for real. Next, I'll ask him to let me lick his ass for real. Far. Is wild.
Ex.
Has that happened to you?
What?
Like working an ex?
Yeah, there have been people you go back to because, you know.
Juu ya kutu ama juu alielewa mwili yako sana?
Sometimes you spin the block because, well,
okay,
there's no roster. I'm not gonna roster you. Spin the block.
Wait.
Yeah, but yeah, there's been an ex for sure. But
is
breaking.
it sweeter? Do you think?
You know, I read the other day that I think it was a tweet. Someone was saying the reason why that sex is so good is because there's nothing else y'all are bonding over.
Yes.
Like that's the only thing that's giving you, you know, that feeling.
Yeah.
So you keep going back until you don't one day.
So is it that this person? Is it the fact that two things? Is it the fact that this person understands your body, or is it the fact that it's the only point of bonding, or is it both?
I think because they understood my body, it was yeah. That's why I kept going back actually. Because the emotional connection, like you break up, there's that back and forth. You obviously know you're not gonna work out, but sex is bomb. So yeah, understood my body.
So then this tells
really
me
good.
that it's possible that a couple's sex life is really good, but the emotional life is shit.
Yeah, I think so. You don't think so? So there are those toxic couples who only, you know, are really just good at fucking, but they're not good.
Is it possible?
But they stay together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why sometimes I think
But in my case, he was still emotionally bonded. For me, I was until I realized I can't do this anymore. Like, there's nothing there. Yeah. So I kept going back until it was just physical for me. But he was still emotionally bonded.
Mm.
Mm.
Next.
um, is there anything wrong with having sex with an uncut man?
I actually hoped you'd be the one to ask that.
Why?
Because many times it's women who are grappling with that question.
Well, I have no experience,
In
so
our
I have
culture.
no opinion
No experience on what?
with an uncut person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a thing.
So I
Okay.
really don't have an opinion.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's different or
Oh, interesting.
better or not good. I
Oh.
don't know. What
Yeah,
have you
that's
had?
well, there are women who've told me it's different,
Oh, different good or different bad?
different good. Because and this is I can share this because it's somebody who's been open about this.
Right.
It's a guy,
Mhm.
friend of mine,
Mhm.
who was circumcised as an adult
Mhm.
already after he was sexually active.
Mhm.
And he said, first of all, the sensations are different when you have a tip and you don't have a tip.
Okay.
You see, the tip,
Mm.
hiyo kifuniko ya hapo juu wa penis protects that softer thing, yeah, of the penis.
Mhm.
And once the nyama is got out, is
Mhm.
cut,
Mhm.
this part becomes slightly hard because it's just exposed to air all the
Right.
time.
Right.
And there are so many nerves there in one's dick.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it's a pleasure point. And if
Mhm.
those nerves sort of get damaged or they die,
Mhm.
then your pleasure becomes different, right?
Right.
So they say now for that foreskin,
Mhm.
when it is gliding down, when the dick is hard, it sort of pleasures the vagina's walls. Yeah,
Oh.
that extra thingy.
Right.
Yeah, it sort of pleasures the vagina's walls. And for a lot of women, the vagina walls also have a lot of nerve endings.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So there are women who've told me it's very, very, very different.
Oh.
So many people
Mhm.
approach this from a cultural point of view, but not from a sexual point of view.
Right. Right. Mhm.
But that's also interesting to me because we come from very different cultures, you and I.
Yes.
And I see how, like, for me, it's like, it's a wild thing when you tell me you've never been with somebody who's not been circumcised. It's so wild to me because me, all my life, more people have been, like, more men I know are uncircumcised.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, from the world I
Living in
come, like,
different
it's,
universes.
so it's like, oh, wow, like,
Oh wow.
yeah,
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
So this person is asking, is there anything wrong? Why does it sound like a moral dilemma?
It is a moral dilemma because of their cultural context.
Right. Right.
We know what the word kehe means, yeah, and how there are communities which take this as a big deal of measuring masculinity.
Yes.
Yeah. So the moral dilemma comes: am I being with a man enough if they are not cut? If I'm a woman,
Are they man enough?
are they man enough?
Right.
To fuck me?
Think go get fucked, then you'll decide later.
Yeah, they should try. Because all their life they've been told they're not supposed to be around.
Yeah, plus you probably like this person. That's why you're asking this question. What do you think?
Do you think it's wrong to be with somebody who's not cut? I think I should challenge you.
To do what?
Find somebody.
You just find somebody.
There are very many somebodies out there.
How do you just find?
Ask.
Next.
Ah, let's see. Okay. Do I like this one? Hello, Rix. Niko na fetish ya kusniff worn panties. I also love admiring panties. Special one. I'm a freak and a beast in the bed. Natafuta dem who is a sex freak we explore. Niko late 30s. Late 30s, my friend. Late 30s, my friend. Ushaisikia hiyo fetish?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not new?
When it's new to you. When it's new to you.
It's not, yeah.
Have you
Ish.
sniffed panties before?
I have sniffed.
Like kept them to yourself and just.
Yeah, but it's not a thing.
Oh, it's not like a fetish.
No,
This
it's
is
not a fetish. That is a fetish. This person probably has 50 panties of women in his closet somewhere.
That's his treasured
Yeah,
collection.
you never know. One day I went on a date with a really gorgeous babe. And before we went, I told her that I'd love to come back home with your pant.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
So we were meeting at a job or somewhere. And then in the middle of the date, she excused herself and went to the washrooms. And when she came back, she placed the thing on my hands. Yeah, and then I just nikaika kwa mfuko. So when I got home, that's the first thing I did. I sniffed. I still have the pant at home. Sometimes I sleep next to it.
Next to it.
Yeah, just look at it before I pleasure myself before sleeping.
You're right.
Nice idea. Giving me ideas.
Penny, y'all didn't hook up after that?
No?
It just didn't work out that way?
It was just a date. Yeah.
Hey,
It's cool.
Hey, this fetish though. And he also love wearing panties.
Yeah.
Is it like he goes to a stand and look at the panties?
Panties are really interesting things.
Or like, does he like watching his girls?
Probably.
With lingerie.
But I would get it. Because for me, like when I see like my person like with lace panties, something happens to me. Yeah, black lace kwanza.
Oh.
And you can't explain it. It just does things.
Okay.
So
una relate hapa.
Kidogo.
So this person says, I haven't had sex since 2022. Kutu imekutuana. I don't think I have kashimo anymore.
No, the last time you had sex?
Recently.
At least this
Sina
year.
kutu. I can't relate.
Yeah, I was saying that the way my life is set up, or maybe our lives, I don't know. Sometimes I see how, or sometimes I don't get to realize how people don't access sex as much as they'd want to, even in the city. And it fascinates me because we are a very scandalous culture, you know? And of course, people are banging. Of course, people are having a lot of sex.
Yes.
But then there are also many people who are not having as much sex as they would like.
I think I can relate to this because there've been very dry seasons and my roster was very dry. And it's not as easily accessible as you'd like to think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
I feel for me, you have to be interesting enough, or I have to like you enough, and that doesn't happen.
With men?
Yes, with men.
You don't meet, or it's hard to meet interesting men?
Yes, it's hard to meet interesting
who are
men
fuckable.
that are fuckable. Yes.
Nairobi ni kugumu hivyo.
It's actually, men are not that interesting. Sorry.
Why?
Yeah, that's just how things are.
What's an interesting man like?
Well, that's
Don't say
a
me.
conversation for another day. Because if we start now, we won't finish. But interesting in the sense that I'm engaged. Like, we're not just depending on my awesomeness to keep this going.
Yeah.
Like, I also think you're awesome. Like,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that sense. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sex could be accessible. But is it good sex?
Is it good sex?
Yes. That's the other thing.
Kizungumkuti.
Yep.
Is it good sex?
Is it good sex?
I am banging a 64-year-old man, and goddamn, nigga is so good. He is a politician, by the way. He knows what to do. Also, he's the first man to ever make me orgasm.
Oh.
His hygiene is perfect. He knows how to handle a woman. 64-year-old. My dad is 60. Now when I think about it.
I don't know any 60-year-old.
Really? Really? Like, dude?
I don't know any. Okay, maybe my uncles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to be somewhere, some
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, I mean, like in this sense.
Nawanza kuwa wabaya kwa ninio.
Ndio inaonekana. Well,
64-year-old.
anampea orgasm after orgasm.
And I'm imagining this person maybe is maybe in their
20s, 30s, early
30s.
30s. But that's something for him at 64. So, I wonder if in heaven we'll still fuck. No STDs, no pregnancy while at it.
Do you want to go to heaven?
Is there heaven?
Is there heaven?
Streets of gold.
Milk and honey.
Kwani kuwashi there.
Mbona wakusema hapo pati ya ngono wakisema tunaenda heaven?
It's not.
But walisema mwili itakuwa mpya.
Maybe itakuwa na hizo desire.
Yeah, maybe they won't.
Huyu amesema huko hakuna STDs na hakuna pregnancy.
Maybe people won't have dicks in heaven. Maybe there are no vaginas in heaven.
True.
But kuna juu wengine wanangojea 72 virgins huko. There is hope.
There's hope.
Yeah, there is hope. There your question is. What else is interesting here? I like how my man's cum tastes. He has loads of it, of which I like swallowing. What do you think of that?
Well, if she likes it, I love it.
Have you ever swallowed?
I have, yeah.
What does cum taste?
Salty?
Like extremely salty? Does cum taste differently, or I don't know. Have you tasted for many men? It's okay, no judgment. We listen, we don't judge.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Is cum different? Is it different from yours if you've tested yours?
Yeah, for sure. It's different. One is more salty.
Men's salty.
But what is that like to swallow?
Not,
Do you like when people swallow your cum? Because some people have a fetish.
it's actually not happened a lot of times.
Oh.
But actually the last time that happened was when I was in a relationship in 2019.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a while back.
It's a while back. Wait.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the one I remember. That tells you they've not happened a lot. But that's,
Yeah, even for me, just a.
it felt nice because it was a new thing.
It felt nice to come in her mouth.
Yeah. And the whole process. It was just quite dramatic in the beginning because it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Because when the coming is coming, you have to change position from this to that, like from the vagina to the mouth. Yeah. And all that. I think I'd like to experience
that again.
Yeah.
Have you thought about it actively?
Not really. It's not one of those things that are a big thing for me.
Right.
I think usually something like that, usually for me, it's like if the chick likes it, then we can try.
Okay.
I think I'm usually really careful around trying to make somebody do things that are uncomfortable for them. And then maybe that is also informed by the fact that we are still in a very sex conservative culture.
Right. Yes.
And I like to be careful because I understand many times the pleasure of women is not centered in sex.
Yes.
Yeah. So many times it's men saying what they want. So usually maybe I've tried to reduce myself a lot because of that. And I want the woman to feel
Yes.
catered for, and it's not just my demands and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe I need not to be afraid to make requests.
Ask.
Right?
It shall be given.
Knock and the door shall be opened.
Right. So this person says, in the past, I used sex as a way of numbing myself. That has now changed, and I would want to really enjoy myself from now onwards. What would you advise someone about this?
I would say I went through something similar in my early 20s, especially the period 20 to 25. I can't tell, I have forgotten a lot of those people I intimated with sexually. But then what I've realized also, Shallie, is a lot of healing from sexual trauma or using sex to numb emotions has to do with you facing those emotions.
True.
It's almost less about the sex. It's more about you and your body and your relationship with yourself. That said, I've also been in instances and experiences where having sex with people or sexual experiences have also been the place where the healing happened.
Right.
Outside, let's say in a therapist session or whatever, like in the actual sex itself. So you really got to find what works for you, because what works for me could be very different. Sex has been very healing for me.
Right.
Even emotionally, also, not just the sex thing, even emotionally. But then things work differently for different people. I don't know what you would say about this.
I agree with you. I think that comes from sexual trauma and trying to not feel some things. And yeah, sit with that feeling. To this person who asked this question, I think sit with it and try and understand what other feelings come up and why sex is the thing that you go to for this sort of, coping.
Yes.
It's a coping
Mechanism.
mechanism. And it's also possible to get out of it.
It is possible to get out of it.
Yeah.
That's very important to say.
What is important though is self-compassion as you go through these emotions, because those are heavy things to go through, and being very gentle with yourself as you unpack those feelings around the sexual trauma. We're just assuming it's sexual.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just assuming it's sexual trauma, yes.
Oh, alrighty. Let me tell you, Onyango, hii collapsed doggy inahitaji research. I have willingly taken myself back to kichinjio 3 times in a week. A busy week, mind you. Hey, nataka mniombe. Wacha nirudi nisikie vizuri tena, please. You like collapsed doggy?
Who doesn't?
The people don't know that it exists.
Who doesn't?
The people don't know it exists.
Do you?
Extremely.
Yeah.
Because there's a way that position, if you know how to do your work, you can get to the woman's soul. Like,
It just feels different. It's just something about it.
oh, umetinkika. Okay. Okay. Amen, church.
Amen. Hallelujah. More collapsed doggy for
Hey,
this person.
hallelujah.
Endelee kujipeleka kwa kitchen.
Tafadhali.
Is it weird that I love watching gangbangs and rough sex? That's my preference.
We listen, we don't judge.
We don't judge, honey. We don't judge.
I find women are very fascinating.
Very. Very.
Women are very fascinating people. Women are very fascinating. Shallie, you people, growing up, My conditioning
Mm.
taught me that, men are the ones who control or are controlling how sex goes.
Mm-hmm.
So the small little ideas I had about being the pro and mi ndo kusema and
Ukajua
whatnot,
hujui.
where, especially if you meet women who have done their work, like they've worked on the conditionings and everything else,
Yes.
and now wanakutana na wewe na wanajua kenye wanafanya, my friend. And then also it's the way, because I think it surprised me at some point in my life when I was still growing to realize, okay, there are women who actually really do love like rough sex.
Yes.
Like
Ada.
like yeah, like nimalize, nataka uniue,
Something soft.
ninyonge. Like it was so fascinating to me because our idea of women in our society, in our culture, is this soft, angelic,
just waiting for the man,
waiting for the man to do the
gentle
things and everything. Siku hizi unakuangalia kwa macho
kijana panda kita.
panda kita. And they're like, this is what I want. This is what I want. And maybe a lot of men are still struggling with that.
Yes. The liberation of it all.
Yeah.
Yes. Because then if you are that, then they think you're, slut or something.
Yeah.
We've been around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if it's a bad thing.
It's not bad thing.
See if it's a bad thing. Do you want to get married?
50-50.
Nakuuliza hiyo swali siku ingine. Are we at the end of these questions or what? I think we're at the end. Somebody asked me, why do you refuse gay sex na kuna wanaume wanakushamba? Kwani wewe unakubalingi kila mtu mwenye anakutaka? Niko na standards tafadhali. I think it's I face this a lot. I'm very expressive.
Right.
I'm expressive emotionally. I'm also expressive sexually. Now, because we don't see a lot of heterosexual men who are expressive openly, they like to be expressive chini ya maji when nobody's seeing and everything. But in society, just openly, it is assumed, first of all, that I'm gay. That's the first assumption many people have. And then it's also assumed that I fuck every day. But I don't. I don't. I have seasons when I actually don't feel like having sex at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those seasons exist.
Because it's not a real love, or you just
No, because I'm doing other things. Maybe I'm concentrating on work, or my body isn't feeling sexual, like us connecting sexually with people. Like I'm a fucking human being. Like
you're not a machine.
I'm not a machine. I have seasons like that I don't feel horny. Like they happen a lot. But because maybe I talk a lot about sex, there is the assumption that I'm always ready, I always want it, and I'm always having it. That's not true. It's not true that I'm gay. I support gay people. I support what are they called? Queer rights.
Yes.
Because for me, if I want to be myself, I have to support other people to be themselves.
Yes.
Right? But then, even if I was gay, for example, and I do have the liberty to say no to other gay people. I don't have to just say yes just because wananitamani. You know what I mean? And that's a problematic conversation because the consent thing is almost
like, why are you saying no? Na watu
wanakutaka. You see? And that is I could imagine, because gay people also have come to me like that.
Oh.
Yeah, almost by force.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've said no, but they really want to convince me to actually do it. Yeah. And I'm like, bruh, do your thing. I support you in doing your thing, but don't
Yes.
force me to something that
Yes.
I'm not into.
Consent is very important.
You know, and now I see it's not just in heterosexual relationships that this is happening.
It's
Even in queer connections, consent is an issue we are grappling with as a society. And maybe on another day we'll really just delve
should
into
unpack
what
consent.
that really is about.
Yes.
Yeah.
How can you advise a woman in her 20s who wants to have more sex to go about it? Wanaume huku nje are not giving good sex. And I know it can be taught, sure, but it's just like, so she's asking, or maybe I've just not met a real fucker.
What maybe a woman should speak. Maybe not me. Maybe a woman should say something first there.
Real fuckers are rare for sure.
What kwa chache?
See, this is the thing we said before. Like, sex is accessible, but good sex is not accessible. And with men, I don't want to like, you could find someone who, yes, but most of the time it's very selfish. A good fucker is not selfish.
Very generous. A good fucker is
Very
generous.
But most people think about themselves and their pleasure and coming first. So in that sense, you're not a good fucker. Because where is the giving? Where is the pleasing? Where is
Yeah.
yeah?
I tell my boys, you need to learn these things because siwezi wafanyia kazi yote. I'm overwhelmed, guys. Hey, bana, rosa imejaa. I'm overwhelmed. Tafadhali, munisaidie. I can't teach. You need to learn. You need to learn these things.
Yes.
When I was, it's now a decade ago now. Again, for me, I openly say this. It's women who've taught me how to be better at sex. Yeah. Because there was no man to show me that. Even in conversations, it didn't happen. But because I've been around women and I try to listen, I came to learn that sex isn't just about my pleasure.
Right.
Like, it's when I was 26 that I first learned there is something called a clitoris. I didn't know that
A
existed.
whole big 26.
Imagine paying taxes like I didn't know there's something called never heard of. It was not there in the fallopian tube at class 6. It was nowhere, right? But then again, the movies I'm watching, the magazines, the porn, men are always orgasming. So it's there. It's like it's right there. So I think, oh, this is the only way it happens. But I remember when I was in Form 2, there's a guy who joined our class. I'll change his name. Let's call him Kevin because he's now very saved. Has a family. Yeah, yes, mimi familia za watu. So Kevo used to smoke every day. He'd come to class in the morning. It was a day school at the time. It makes sure he smokes every time before he comes to class in the morning. So alafu alikuwa anakaa nyuma yangu. So hiyo harufu ya smoke, a cigarette, I'd always feel it when we are getting to class in the morning. And he like all of us, he had a really troubled childhood. So for me, again, I was open about what's happening at home. Nimeanza kitambo kuongea, and I'd always find people who feel close to me because of that, and then they tell me their stories. Kevo was already sexually active. He was slightly older than us. So I was 17, he was probably 19 or 20, thereabout. Kevo was the first person and the only man to ever tell me what an orgasm from a woman looks like.
Oh.
Okay? Because he had experience. So I just remember him telling me like, dem akianza kutingika, ujue kumekujwa. You'll feel her like like nailing your back like really hard and what like things just get more intense. That was my first idea of what an orgasm looks like from a woman. But then you start having sex with women and then you realize orgasms manifest so differently as well. It's not just the one that you are told, right?
Yes.
It's very
It's very
different. There are people
different.
who shake their
Others
legs.
cry.
Others, oh my God, others weep the fuck out of their eyes,
Yes.
you know, and others just disappear in silence. They just quiet.
Others put claws on your
Others
body.
will make you bleed, like, you know, like it's so different. It's so, others scream, you know, and coming to learn that when I'm meeting a sex partner, I need to be open to listen to what works for them. It takes work as a guy. It takes work. Don't think what worked on Maria will work on Lucy, it will work on some other person. No, like we have to start talking and conversing so that we can be good fuckers. Because women are really having the short end of the stick.
We are. That's so true. Like it's not it's a rare thing. A good fucker is a rare thing.
A good fucker is a rare thing, and this podcast is about increasing good fuckers. Thank you so much for joining us for this elaborate and wonderful episode of the Nothing Underneath podcast. If you're new here, I would really encourage you to subscribe to this channel and share it to friends of yours with whom you're also going to start having these very spicy and sometimes difficult conversations. We've been your co-hosts,
Sunny Shallie.
and the ever lovely Rix. Until next time,
Bye. Peace out.
fuck some more.